Hello, everyone. Welcome to Our Kind of Homesteading. We're your hosts, Sherry. And you know what I was thinking? I'm saying this so well. Look at me go, look at me go. And I was like, go.
I was like, you were so confident. I was just like, and finish it up. Say your name and Shauna.
See, if you weren't as confident, you would have been like, I don't. Am I supposed to do something?
This is Sherry.
Hilarious.
I should have been like, this is Sherry.
Introduce me, bitch.
Shauna. You should have just said that after, like, instead of like Sherry. You should have like introduced me.
That's not the first time I've done that. I'm definitely saying that next time I do that.
That's so funny.
I'm just gonna roll right into it.
Why are we so loud? Do you think? Oh, that's those things. Turn us down. Last time when I was trying to do the fucking.
Is that better?
I think so.
Oh no, is that?
No, it's good because last time I was trying to put it on the like the sound on the thing, it was just like always shooting past the red.
And the
audio. Thank you.
Yeah.
And the red that's going past the red and like in my things, I was like, ow, ow, ow. Like I did like so it was like we're way too loud. And our cackles like when we start cackling, like it's all like and it's just like it's like red, like it's like way up there, like you're just like. Damn, like
you love our witch cackle.
We cackle like when we both get going, it's like so like it's like
cacophony of noise.
That's exactly the word I was gonna.
I know.
Thank you. God, do you see? This is why we work well together.
Brain is shared.
Okay, so we are starting to just. Sorry, I'm like on fucking Porch Talks. No, we are on our kind of homesteading. Yep.
Correct.
That
is a podcast they're listening to.
Somebody had asked us, and we had talked about this a little bit before, but basically, like, what are some things that we wish we would have known, like, before we started, like, homesteading, or, like, things that we would have changed, you know, if we could, like, go back and change them. I'm not, like, a huge person of, like, like, there's some things, like, you know, like, we all have those, like, I wish I could go back in time, but it's nothing, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not really a person. I'm of the mind that like everything I do and everything that is done is kind of just like that's how it is.
But it's led you to this point that you're at, and I'm happy where I'm at. So if I changed it and with like a butterfly effect, and then it like changes the whole outcome, and then I wouldn't be here, then I'm like, or something else.
We're worriers.
I'm like, no, it has to happen exactly how it did.
Yeah,
that's me. That's how I think about it.
Yeah, ditto
because I'm very content of my place now. I'm like, no, not even my mistakes. Yeah, I'm gonna fuck up again.
See, I guess it's perspective based, you know. There's some people who very much are not content, you know what I mean? They'd be like, yes, please, change.
Yeah, I think that's a big judge of if you would change a bunch of stuff and like to change who you are now, then you definitely aren't content or happy, you know?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
no,
but I'm
100%.
Like very much the opposite.
Yeah, I'm very much opposite too. I'm just like, I love myself. I love my life. I'm good.
Yeah. So, but just for the sake of today's episode,
like lean back, but like
we're I know that.
Can you pull that closer?
Yeah, I can. Ugh, like that.
I'm like,
look at us lounging.
I do need to lounge. I cannot sit up straight. I'm so fucking tired. I know I always am fucking tired, but I'm so tired.
Still, new day, still the same.
Still the same.
Anyways, so I think just things that I have said in the past about like, you know, what I would change, and if you are starting your homestead and trying to get like, you know, I don't want to make the same mistakes, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. I think the biggest thing I would say would be that I would have purchased more land.
And closer to us.
And closer to Sherry. And we're not far from Sherry, we're like 25 minutes. But
yeah,
it's still 25 minutes.
25 minutes that
I like not just closer, like I want to be like next door.
I want to be next door. I want to have shared
like
property
shared
lines.
Property line or shared property.
Yes.
And
all the above.
And we've talked about that. Now we're trying to like groom our kids to be like or brainwash them to be like, you guys are buying land together.
Yeah.
Like, because
share those bills, people.
You share the bills, and then you share the burdens, and then you share the wealth too, right? So you can share like somebody is really good at gardening, then they can run the garden, and then somebody else is, you know, good at fucking like making bread, then they can be the ones that make bread, and you have like your little commune. Like, it's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, no, it is beautiful, and it's the way it should be.
Yeah, it really should. And then if all of our kids are kind of sharing property taxes or whatever else, I wish I would have thought to buy a smaller house and way more land that I could have, because the more land you have, the more like you can grow on that, right? You can have not that I don't have a giant garden and I can't have a giant garden. We still have 5 acres, but I just wish.
Yeah. Just more space, because you could have done even more. Is your point? I think.
Well, and I could have been like, yes, my kids can just build a tiny home on our property.
Yeah, which is huge.
That's huge, you know.
Right, yes.
And who wants a big house?
Yeah, no.
Not that I have a huge house, but it's big. It's too big.
Yeah.
Because then you have to clean it.
Well, especially only for 4 people.
It's the dumbest thing.
Yeah.
Like, you just walk around and you're like, I'm going to fill that closet with shit. You know?
Right, and you do just fill, like, if you have space, well, at least this is us. Like, if we have space, it's being filled. And so, like, what's the point?
And I try to, like, purge and, like, tone down and
it doesn't matter, though.
Get rid of shit.
It just comes out of the sky.
And then I'm like, if I can't make it, I don't need it kind of thing. I was like, you know, on that kick. But then still you have kids and they want things. And I'm not going to... I'm not that person who is like, my kids have to be exactly like me. Like, okay, yeah. And it's all phases, right? When I was a little kid, I was a consumer too.
I was
literally a consumer
and you want
up until
all the things. Yeah.
Up until I had kids, I think.
Up until last month.
Right? Like,
no, for sure.
You know,
yeah.
Like, yeah. I definitely still
I
love...
would never, like, as if I was, like, let's say I don't like the whole minimalist thing. Like, I just am not that person.
Yeah,
but
I'm not that person
let's
either.
say I did like it.
I'm a maximalist, actually.
I am a maximalist too. Let's say I did like it, I would never, like, push that upon my kids.
Right.
I need my sneakers.
No, you're swinging those. That's good.
No, Mommy.
They're down at the house. If you want to run down there.
Where?
You took them off this morning in front of the couch. Have Ronan run down with you if he'd like to.
So they're on the couch?
Yep, right near the couch. Have Ronan run down with you. Close the door.
So where's
Thank you.
my
Love you.
swimsuit, do you think?
I know. I could probably figure that out for you. I'm very good at being like, that, you left that there. You know, your kids are like, where did I leave it, Mom?
I like call
that's for my bra. But you know, that's our mom though. Our mom is really bad about that.
Yeah,
and so
she'll even call me. I don't even live here, and she'll be
Yeah.
all like, "Hey, have you seen?" I'm like, "Mom, I don't live there, and why would I know where your bra is? That would be the weirdest thing
And
ever."
that is legit something that she called me and asked me. She calls me. I'm at my house. She's at her house. We live 800 feet away. Have you seen my bra? I'm like, that is such a weird question. That is so funny. Like, I would never in a million years.
You should, though.
I would
start
never
calling
be
her.
like, hey, Mom, do you know where my bra is? Can't fucking find it. You obviously know. It's just so funny. And she's like, oh my gosh, it's because you were here. I was wondering if you saw it anywhere. I'm like, you just randomly take your bra places? I'm like,
I do that
too.
I do that.
I
Hell
do
yeah.
too. I do too.
I never like and because it's just thrown wherever. I'm like, have you seen any of my bras? Like, I can't find any of them.
No, so I don't do the whole like throwing, and I just because Lorenzo just will come down to the house and he just might have like 10 friends with him. It's just like you never know.
I've never seen a bra.
It is an awkward moment.
Is
It's happened in the past, and I'm just like, I'm gonna pick that up. I'm gonna put that where it belongs, not on my dining room table.
Should just lean into those moments.
I'm just like, yeah, it's weird, and I always have to keep a bra on too, until like, I'm like, okay, everyone, it's definitely asleep up there. No one's coming down surprising me.
Text, bra came off, just FYI.
It's braless time, so don't come down unless you want to see
I don't
that.
have pants on, so just forewarning you, it's hot out. Just doing the old t-shirt thing.
Oh god, so
might make
funny.
some of your friends uncomfortable. But yeah, so I definitely would have purchased more, and obviously like next to you.
Oh yeah,
like literally sharing a fence, been like, hey, like my husband would have loved
neighborette.
it.
Yeah.
What's one of yours?
We know all the things that your husband would love.
Yes,
They mostly include
pumpkin
me.
pie. Yeah, yeah.
Me. Like that song. What's that cute song? It's like, I'm the problem. It's me. I can sing that song
I'm
to
the problem,
your
it's
husband.
me.
It's very, very cute. One thing I would let's see. I'm trying to think of what I don't like about the property.
Well, I mean, like, it's not what you don't like necessarily. It's
Well,
just
it could
like,
be.
Yeah, no, it could be. But I'm saying it's just, like, I think one thing for you guys, like, you made your garden space entirely too small.
The garden space is too small, and I really wish. Yeah, I wish we had just encompassed all that space, just encompassed all of it. Like, but go.
Because you have to think. Okay, first of all, like, you think like we'll just make another garden space. Like, you have to. It's like deer fencing and all that. It's not just like you can just expand your garden, but you have to also make sure things can't just eat your garden. But when you are putting up, like when we put up our vegetable garden area. Like we have a flower garden and like a vegetable garden area. And we obviously had to deer fence that off. I was like, I'm going to make this huge because I know the gardener I am now is not going to be the same gardener I'm in the future. Like hopefully I'll be better at it.
Right.
And I want to grow more things.
You'll want more things.
And even now, and I have a pretty good sized garden. I can't give you a guesstimate, but I will, but it's probably way off. But like when it's like 100 feet long.
I am really bad at the whole feet and any kind of measurement whatsoever.
Me too. So we're going to say it's big, and
Yeah.
I thought it was like, I'm never going to use all this space. And now where I'm at, I'm like, why didn't I make this like half of this front field? Like, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, I mean, okay. I'll tell you why not. It's because at the time you had, whatever funds are always kind of limited, right? You only have a certain amount of funds to spend on the garden, to spend on the fencing, the deer fencing, blah, blah, blah. And that's why. It's pretty simple.
That is why.
Yeah, exactly. That's fucking why, right? It's an
But
easy,
if we were, I don't know, if we like
solution.
did it in a way to where I could have expanded the garden a bit easier. I don't know how you would do that.
Yeah.
But
See,
like
so I don't
ours is like in that corner of the front field.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and how we made it, unless we took out the whole front fence, I couldn't really make it any bigger.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't know. Ours is like completely like the chain link, right? It's like, I don't even know how tall that is.
6 feet?
6 feet.
Over 6 feet?
It's over 6 feet. And like, okay, so, but we don't have a deer problem because of the dogs. Like we have the 2 big LGDs that run, so we don't have a deer problem.
So you could expand your garden.
Yes,
wherever
but
you
we
wanted.
have a chicken problem.
And alpacas.
Well, I mean, it has to have a fence, some kind of fence, yeah. But
Has to
very,
have-
very,
very short
Like
fence.
the fence I put around this.
So it's
to
just
make, like,
cheaper.
Super cheap, right? But my problem is my fucking chickens. They just like get in and just eat things. They're just little fucking
Well,
devils.
what you could think about free-ranging chickens is having more of an area, a large area for your chickens.
So that's what we're doing. That's the next like big thing on my list for
really?
my husband to do for me.
Is
I'm going to make
like
a huge chicken
chicken
coop.
coop?
Huge. And that's where they will stay permanently. Sometimes maybe they can come out, but then I'll feed them in there and go back
You're
in.
a liar.
I'm not a liar.
You're a liar. You're gonna
Why?
because I know you, and you're gonna make this huge ass chicken run. Your husband's
Yes.
gonna spend all this time on it.
Yes.
And then they're gonna be in there for like 2 months, maybe 3 months, and then Sherry's gonna be
No.
like, I feel bad letting them out.
No, I won't feel bad as long as it's a good sized space. I have several reasons. One, it keeps them out of my garden. That's actually pretty low on the list. My first reason is the fucking eggs. Our dogs are finding all of our eggs. I cannot keep them away from them. And they obviously smell the eggs much. Well, I don't smell
Why
the
don't
eggs
you
at
just
all.
lock them in the coop for like a couple weeks, or at least some of your hens?
Yeah, I could. Just our coop is so small.
And you
It's
just feel bad, it's
tiny.
hot.
Just like, it's hot. Ew. I wouldn't want to
Yeah.
be in there when it's hot. So I'm just like, I don't know. Mom said the same thing. I'm like, I would only probably want to lock maybe like 6 in that space. It's not like tiny, but I just feel bad for them.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like you're still gonna feel bad when you have
No,
this-
if it was big, like, do you remember Amy's coop?
yeah.
Okay, that size is like completely sufficient. I would be like, yes, they can stay in here
Well,
forever.
and it's like completely under a huge tree.
Yeah, I want to do it right over there.
It's beautifully
completely under
shaded.
trees, and lots of natural shade.
And
you don't
then
have to feel
it's
bad.
even like good in the if it's sprinkling, they don't even get wet.
That's what I'm
like,
saying.
it's nice.
And then have an actual coop that they go in where they lay their eggs and can go in and roost, and you know what I mean?
So like the coop on the inside of the run type thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then just have a huge run.
I
or
would
whatever
actually.
you
That's
wanna call
another thing. Since we're on chickens, I would redo our chicken run. I don't like how ours is set up either. Not our chicken run, our chicken coop. Sorry. I don't
it. Oh
have a
yeah,
chicken run.
yeah. It just
I kinda do.
Yeah, yours is very small, very tiny.
It's small, and we built it quickly.
Again, and see, like, that's like,
If you can like take a step back and be all like, okay, like we could get this up, and I could get chickens right away. Or I could like take a breath. We can take our time. We can plan this out, and then we can have it, be amazing to where if we want to put all of our chickens in a run, or they are, laying eggs all over the property, or, we got a new dog and he's killing the chickens, so we have to lock them. Whatever the case may be,
yeah,
there's always
exactly.
something.
There's always something.
It's always something
Yeah.
where you're like, I wish we didn't have any free range chickens right now.
Yes, right. Yeah.
predators too is another thing, because your free range chickens, inevitably there'll be a bunch that no longer want to go in the coop at night. If you're free ranging, it always happens.
We have like half of ours roost in trees, and the other half, including the guinea hens, they roost in trees, and the other half goes into the coop.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's really, I think we have more in trees than we do in the coop at this point.
And you have your dog, so LGDs obviously help with predator control. But like we just had a rooster get taken the night before last. I had kicked him out of the coop he was in because he was fighting with another rooster and being naughty, and he was being just an asshole. So I booted him out, and then I was like, he'll probably fine. He'll go up into a tree or whatever, but obviously he wasn't. He got eaten. So it's just always like a constant battle if you don't have like I have way too many roosters, but
yeah, you have a lot of roosters. You have a lot.
Yeah,
you have a lot of roosters, and that can get problematic. You do have one less. And it can be problems, obviously, when they're fighting. It's like such a headache.
Yeah. I have like spaces for a lot of like, the roosters, and then the property is big enough to where they can kind of be like, you go in that corner and I go in this corner. But I had the two in like a smaller, it's not a smaller coop, it was a larger, it was only the two of them, and they were in the same clutch, they grew up together, but then they're like, now I hate you,
Yeah. Well, they get older and stuff.
Some of them are still like, I have two roosters in another coop because I like, people are like, well, you shouldn't have put two roosters in a coop. And I was like, I have two roosters in another coop, and they never fight. It's totally personality based.
It's personality based.
It's absolutely personality based, because I literally have two, and they didn't even grow up together.
Why are they in a coop though? Why does not let them out? It's like,
well, one has one eye, and so
okay.
Yeah, Popeye, actually, is his name, one-eyed Popeye, and when he's out, he'll just get picked on, and he doesn't have any depth perception, so he just runs into shit.
That's fun for him. Okay,
and then the other rooster that's in there, like when we didn't have the top on it originally for the outside run part, he had flown in. I don't even know how he flew over, because it's like the same size as your chain link out here.
Oh wow!
And he flew over to that, and then he's lived in there ever since, because I tried to kick him out, and he was like, no, I want to be in here. And so I was like, all right, and he got along with the other rooster. So,
well, there you go.
That's why.
Yeah.
And then, like, we have, like, the ones I don't want to out, like, Fire, who's, like, a game hen, and she obviously would get picked up by a hawk because she's tiny.
Hello?
Oh, that's really cute.
That's really cute.
You did a good job.
Don't the birds go pretty well? Like
they do.
Sorry, we're getting shown some costumes. You did a really good job. I should have given you Ronins to do.
Yeah.
You can do Ronins?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
I wanted to keep the pants like this, like weird length.
I know, it does look, it looks good.
It looks
is an
very,
odd length, but it looks good.
Lost Boy, yeah.
I'm like walking around like, hey, what's this homeless doing? And I'm like,
It looks great, babe.
Lorenzo. Yeah, I like it.
I like it a lot.
Sweet.
Thanks, love you.
I like how he knocks on the door. Like, I'm going to show you my costume that I just finished. You did a good job.
He did do a good job.
Our kids are at State Fair literally starting, well, we go in tomorrow and the next day for practice, and then Friday until
Begins
the end of the month.
The end of the month.
And so that's just where we will live for a while.
Yeah.
Which is very exciting. We're being super positive, and it's going to be fun, even though it's going to be like 100 and...
The kids have a blast. It does get hot during the day,
but not just hot. Like, that's like Satan's ass crack hot. Like, it's like literally there's no.
It's something that they look forward to all year.
Yes,
they
and
truly
so
do. And all the fun afterwards, and like after their late show, they always have a show at like 7 every fucking night. And so it's like after the show, then they go into then it's time for everyone to kind of just chill and relax, and it's like silent disco time and football in the arena time and all sorts of things. So yeah, they really have a good time.
It's going to be super fun, okay? It's going to be great. We're going to have a great time. I'm just going to keep telling myself that.
You should. That's your mantra every day when you wake up. I'm going to have a great time today at State Fair.
I'm going to be positive. No negativity is coming out of this mouth, okay? I will limit myself on calling people names.
That's good. Well, especially to their face. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I plan on being super nice, so...
That's good. Do you hear, folks? She plans on being super nice. That's the plan. I'll report back to you at the end of the month and let you know how that all went.
I actually even told my husband.
The plan went.
I even told my husband, I was like, listen, I'm going into State Fair. I was like, you know how it gets crazy, and there's always a certain amount of drama, that I
Always.
somehow
It's already began. by
it's
the way.
already began.
It's already began.
And I don't want to get sucked into it because I do not like drama at all. And so I told him, I was like, when I start coming home and just like
My eyes twitching.
spiraling
and,
and venting to you,
You just need to hand me a
instead of like,
margarita
and don't
or-
just, it's not just time to listen. Like, absolutely hand me some alcohol, but tell me like, hey, you wanted me to remind you not to get involved and to keep your mouth shut. That's what I told him. And he's like, if I say that and you throw a bottle at me,
You're like, well, then so be it. You
like,
will still say it.
well, you do need to know if I'm truly mad or just venting, obviously.
Read the room, God damn it. That's hysterical. He's like, if you throw a bottle at me, that's hysterical.
Yeah. I was like, I don't, what bottles? I don't drink
I was gonna
beer.
say, have you tossed a bottle at him before?
No.
Oh, okay, that's an interesting.
I don't think I've thrown anything at him before. I mean, in anger.
In play, yeah,
Yeah.
not in anger though.
That'd be weird.
Slightly unhinged.
Unhinged, yeah. I mean, I could slightly see myself doing it at some points in our life.
Yeah. I've
know?
definitely been mad enough, and honestly, the only reason that I probably haven't done it to my husband is because of my kids. Like, I don't want to come off as that like psycho mom. They're like, "Fuck, mom's lost it." No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Domestic violence should never be condoned.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying it's for the kids. So there
It's
you go.
for the kids.
They are
you should tell
welcome.
one. Be like, you should thank your children that they're here.
That they're here.
Otherwise, lots of things would be
Lots
flying
of
across
things
this house.
coming at you.
At your head. What else did I write down for...
I don't know.
Oh.
My shoulder hurts so bad.
So the other thing that I was going to say that I kind of wish... And see, it's really hard, okay? Because when you're at different points in your life, right? Like when I... and Sherry and I have talked about how we always were kind of homesteaders and we didn't really know it even before we moved up to the place that my parents are and she is currently. We always had that like homesteady vibe in us, and it's just was in our family. Like even our parents and grandparents
Like,
and
we had so many animals
It's
in
in
like
our
a
blood.
suburban
yeah,
house.
like
that
we had
should
like
not
ducks
have
and
had.
pigs, and people are. I was
Just
like,
like-
where's your ducks and pigs?
Yeah, like you probably
other
couldn't have
suburban
had.
families.
There's probably definitely we were breaking rules for
We
sure.
were breaking, but
but
like
didn't care.
I mean, it was the 90s. Were there rules like that?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
Not as many
Not as
probably,
many,
but
yeah.
I think there were
Yeah,
some.
it wasn't as many. Like you could pretty much do what you wanted
Yeah.
in that aspect, and we did.
We did. We took full advantage of that no rule, and we're like, hell's to the yeah. Come on, pigs and ducks, get in here.
But I kind of wish I started earlier growing some of my homesteady skills. Like at a younger age.
Oh yeah. Very much.
Like
so.
I feel like our
Yeah.
kids have a better
Yeah.
handle at the
Definitely.
age. Like obviously we did, like we say we were like, it was in our blood, but like we didn't grow up on property. We weren't born onto property.
Yeah. No.
But our kids were, all of our kids were.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was just like a different vibe than our parents. But our parents were like, they were 80s parents, it's like, it's 10 o'clock, where are your kids? Like, and it's like they didn't know where their children were, but like, so it was just different. Like they weren't as worried how like we're like, we do it for health purposes and we do it. They didn't really care about that. They're like, have all the dye, have all the Capri Suns.
Yeah, Mom. I remember asking her. We had a conversation. I think you were here. It was about cheese, because growing up, we specifically ate American cheese. It comes in the wrapper. It's like a cheese food. It's called.
It's a
It's not
cheese food.
actually cheese.
It comes in
And-
a wrapper because otherwise it will stick.
Just stick and fall apart. So, anyways,
I remember liking it though.
I
at
loved
one
it. Well,
point.
because we liked it because it was what we had, Shauna.
We had
It's
the cheese food.
So we had this cheese, and I remember asking her, like, that is so fucking weird. Like, why? Like, was cheddar just not available? Or, like, what the fuck? She's like, it was very expensive. I was like, yes, it's still very expensive. I could go get American cheese for $1 probably for a big old pack of American cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the cheddar, the Tillamook cheddar I buy is $10 for a fucking thing. So, yes.
I made the
Still
best cheese
expensive.
last night.
Oh, goat cheese? God, you stupid whore. Why didn't you bring it?
I should have brought it. No, I put it in my. Oh, you're just talking about cheese, and I was like,
Stupid.
I was out of. I just used vinegar, but I didn't. it was just like an experimentation thing, which I always do, and I never measure anything, and I definitely didn't have a gallon of milk, but I wanted cheese. And so you had the milk and then I still used the same amount of vinegar, and so it like was super, super like
Crumbly.
hard.
Yeah, super,
like not
super.
crumbly. Like it's like you can slice it.
Yeah, the more vinegar you put in, the harder it's going to be. Like harder the consistency.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
great. And I love it. And it's turned out so good. And I was like, I don't know how I did this so well without.
That's awesome.
I'll never be able to repeat it.
Yeah. See, Shauna almost brags about how she like doesn't want to use measurements of any sort or kind, but then she can't repeat her recipes.
I don't almost brag. I do brag. I'm amazing at just making things. I just told you that. I
Well,
have
but
a
apparently
great
you're never going to
cheese.
have it again, so enjoy it. You have a great cheese for how long it's going to last, though. You
Yeah,
can't recreate it.
and it's not a lot. You know, it's only like this much cheese because it's like literally like it's such a small amount of cheese because there's like
Yeah, because you didn't have a gallon.
no. I was just like I'll just use this much. It'll be fine. I want it. Making it.
I want it. I want it.
But it
Something like Veruca salt.
yeah. But it turned out really, really, really good. I was like, this is
That's awesome.
probably my favorite cheese I've ever made.
That's awesome.
And it wasn't like rubbery or I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, American cheese is trash.
Yeah, just funny. Mom's saying it was very expensive. Like it's still very expensive, but we buy it.
But like it was like American cheese, bologna,
Yeah,
and white bread.
yeah.
That's like if every American had those three things in their fridge probably at all times.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's what I'm saying. It's like a completely different, and they're like, well, we didn't know that those things, you know, are like.
You couldn't tell?
But
Just by the bologna?
But no, but like you
How
know,
it looked? The slime?
just like in like the 50s, they're like you know smoking around their kids, smoking when they're pregnant, or drinking a whole bottle of wine when they're pregnant. And they're like, we didn't know, you know, and it seems very obvious now, like in retrospect, but like you know. At the time, they're like, I didn't know that like breathing in the smoke into my lungs would be bad for me.
Right. No, for sure. I guess. If they didn't know, they didn't know.
I didn't know. So anyway, so I feel like if we started off how our kids got started, I feel like I would be like the ultimate homesteader now.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
pretty amazing now.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a lot of skills.
I see what you're saying, though. Yeah. Like,
But,
they
like-
see us like making bread and making all
But
the
they
freaking
make
thing-
bread.
Yes.
You
yes,
know, my
yes.
my 11-year-old daughter can like go in the kitchen and pretty much make whatever. You
Right.
know, like very very skilled already.
And then like the gardening.
Gardening,
I
another
remember
thing.
Dad gardening though.
Yeah, Dad was a huge gardener. And just, I don't know, like just very much, and probably because we homeschool and so they were able to just be around it all day, every day.
Yeah, that's it makes it's a very good point because that's like all that we're doing, you know. Not all, but it makes up a big part of our day and all the animals and stuff. Like my kids are so like fucking insanely responsible.
Right.
Like at such a young age.
Right.
Like Daya's been feeding. They both have been feeding since they were like fucking 7 years old.
Yeah.
It's like
It's just
And
what they do.
it's just what they do, right? It's like
Yeah.
part of their day, part of
Feed,
their life.
milk.
And not just feeding. It's not like they're like, I don't know what I'm doing. It's like they know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what needs to be done. They know they can look at an animal and be like, oh, shoot, that goat has a runny nose. Okay, mom, so-and-so has a runny nose.
Because they like
or
were-
so-and-so's
they
limping.
grew up around it, yeah.
Or like, you know,
but and just being like completely immersed on a daily basis, like because
yeah.
of the whole homeschooling thing. The dingoes.
What's a dingo?
What's a
You're a ding-dong. What's a ding-dong?
The chocolate things.
Why are you? See, she's still in the 80s. We're all talking about American cheese in here. I'm fucking about ding dongs.
Right on time,
Does that
Mom.
still exist?
Mom opens the
Did
door.
you buy Twinkies
She's like,
too?
where are the ding-dongs?
You bought them for the kids.
I think I
I
just
was like,
on the
what's a
table,
dingo?
actually. Now that I'm remembering. On your table behind all the bags.
Okay.
The
This thing.
80s will never
Don't you
leave.
know what a ding dong is? It's
I
all
don't.
wrapped in foil, the hostess chocolate.
Sounds like it's good for you.
So healthy.
She's like giving them to the kids. Thanks, Mom.
She's like, here, come on, 80s grandma over here, come get.
She is an 80s grandma.
Yeah, she totally is.
She's like, here
I
are
got
your ding dongs,
ding-dongs.
and I don't even know what else. Like it's so weird. Like I would never ever buy
I
a
would never
ding dong.
buy those. Well, I mean, the name throws me off. I'm sorry.
I never even
I'm
like. I
never
didn't even know those
buying
still
that.
existed. Like, where'd she find
I
them?
did, but only because I've seen her buy them before. That's the only reason, though.
Oh, I was like, where did she even find those? Is there like a store that like 80s grandmas go and shop? And
I think
they're
it's just Hostess. I think they're everywhere. You just never look at them. But there they are.
Ding dong.
You have issues. You have lots of issues.
We're talking about how you're such an 80s grandma. Ding dong.
She probably has American cheese in her fridge right now.
No, she doesn't have that anymore. But
Because we throw it out.
that's
This
right.
is
We're
trash.
like, trash right to the chickens. God damn it. Yeah, yeah, we're talking about kids. Anyways, yes. It's just crazy how our kids are gonna be, if they choose to live on land
Yes.
and stuff, like
Which
they're gonna be
I definitely think both of my kids will. They always talk about it even now. I know they're still young and they could change completely, but I think they see the value in living how we live.
well, I think like
And
all of
kinda,
mine
like,
are.
And like kind of like slowing down and like
And I think
appreciating-
if for nothing else, they just love the space, like the open space.
yeah, and
you
like
know?
like even going out and being all like,
Yeah.
hello chickens.
Yeah,
Thank you
exactly.
for the eggs.
Exactly.
You know, like my son, he's very much still like a video gamer and like he loves. It's hard to break him away from video games, leaving the house, right? But he very much enjoys milking. Like he'll go out in the morning. He likes doing it. He's always like, I
Right.
love milking goats. He just enjoys like being with the goats and like he just,
exactly.
you know, kind of.
Yeah, no, all of
his
mine
thing.
definitely will choose to live on property. I feel like because they're not even gonna know what to do with like a little house, and they're like, oh, I have a neighbor right there, and oh fuck, neighbor right there, oh fuck, neighbor right there. You know what I mean?
My kids think
they're
that's
just-
creepy, by the way.
Yeah, no, we drive past, and especially
They're
when
like,
you can see
"How
houses
do
on the
you
road, and they're like,
people-"
oh my god, they can see in each other's windows. I'm like, I know. It is
Well,
for
but
us.
people-
It's super
yeah.
foreign, but for
Yeah.
for most people though, that's like the norm. And that was
norm.
our norm too, up until we moved here.
Yeah, for sure. But I did want to point out though, if you are starting your homestead, or even if you have been on your homestead for a little while, like we said in the beginning, like don't look at it as like mistakes or God, like this, wish we should have done this, or that fucking sucks. That kind of look at it as just like growing and learning, and your homestead will be amazing. Have set goals. Your homestead will be what you want it to be eventually. You just have to like kind of keep at it and don't focus too much on the past, because it's in the past.
Water under the bridge, people.
Just keep moving forward.
Yes.
Just keep swimming.
Very good point.
Swimming. Anywho, we are going to end this one there because we have a lot of other podcasts we need to get done before State Fair.
Today, we're going to record like 5.
Yeah. Yay.
See you in 1 second.
You'll see us in same shirts for the next 3 podcasts. Thank you guys so much. Shout outs to our top patrons over on Patreon, Lexi and
Megan?
not Megan. Do we shout out Megan?
Yes.
Oh, we shout out Megan. Sorry, Megan. Yes, shout out to you, Megan, and Tegan.
Tegan.
And then if you guys haven't checked out our Patreon, please do so. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email us or check us out on Instagram. And
Definitely.
yeah, other than that, we'll talk to you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.